Some teachers use words, some use silence. But these 3 monks used laughter, and it transformed a nation. This story of 3 monks will change you completely. In ancient China, long before cities were filled with noise and complexity, long before people forgot the simple joy of being alive, there wandered 3 old monks whose names no one ever knew. It wasn't that people forgot their names, it was simply because the monks never revealed them. To everyone in the land, they were known as the 3 Laughing Monks. They were unusual, even mysterious. They carried no scriptures, gave no sermons, and had no disciples. They didn't teach through words or rules. Instead, they taught through something far more powerful and universal: laughter. Wherever they traveled, they walked together in perfect harmony, one short and round like a cheerful peach, one tall and thin like a bamboo reed, and the third with eyes that sparkled as if he constantly saw something funny that others couldn't. They carried nothing but a small wooden staff each, worn out from years of wandering. Their tradition was simple. Whenever they entered a village, they would go straight to the central square, plant their staffs into the ground, look at one another, and burst into laughter. Not gentle, polite laughter, not soft giggles, but deep, unstoppable, contagious laughter. Laughter that shook their shoulders, reddened their faces, and echoed through the streets like ringing bells. At first, villagers who passed by would stare in confusion. Some whispered to each other, "Are these men mad?" Others stood at a distance, unsure whether to watch or walk away. But after a few moments, curiosity would break the tension. Someone would smile, someone else would chuckle, then another and another. Within minutes, the whole village would be laughing along with them. Farmers, merchants, grandmothers, children, even tired travelers passing by. People who hadn't laughed in weeks found themselves doubling over, clutching their stomachs, tears streaming down their faces. Old grudges between neighbors dissolved. Worries faded away. Even sick people felt lighter. The monks didn't promise miracles, yet somehow their laughter healed hearts. When the entire village was filled with joy, true, unrestrained joy, the monks would lift their staffs, bow gently, and continue their journey to the next town. They never stayed too long, because their mission was simple: to remind people of the joy they had forgotten. Their laughter was their prayer. Their silence was their teaching. Their presence was their message. And throughout China, people came to love and respect them. Some followed them quietly, trying to understand how they could laugh so freely in a world often filled with pain. Others waited eagerly for their arrival, believing the monks brought blessings wherever they went. For many years, the 3 monks wandered across mountains, rivers, wheat fields, and dusty roads, leaving trails of happiness behind them. One winter morning, while the monks were staying in a small village in the northern province, something unexpected happened. After sharing laughter with the villagers, one of the monks lay down under a flowering plum tree and peacefully breathed his last breath. News spread like wildfire. "The laughing monk has died. The Holy One has passed away." People dropped their tools and left their work unfinished. Farmers left the fields. Merchants closed their shops. Everyone rushed to the village square, expecting to find the remaining 2 monks weeping, mourning, or praying. But to their shock, disbelief, and confusion, the 2 old monks were laughing, harder than ever before. Their laughter was so loud that it echoed across the rooftops. They were laughing so intensely that they had to hold on to each other to keep from falling over. Villagers stared, stunned. Children hid behind their mothers. Even the elders, who had seen many things, could not understand. Finally, a few brave villagers stepped forward and asked, "Masters, why are you laughing? Your friend, your brother, has died. Shouldn't you mourn him? Shouldn't you be grieving?" The monks wiped tears of laughter from their eyes and answered, breaking their lifelong silence for the first and only time, "Our friend is not dead. He has simply won a bet." The villagers blinked, confused. One of the monks continued laughing as he explained, "Yesterday, on our way to your village, he said he would die first. We thought he was joking, but the old rascal was serious. He said he would beat us, and he did." The people were stunned. A few even laughed nervously, but the monks were not done. They revealed that the deceased monk had left simple instructions for his funeral. According to tradition, the dead must be washed and dressed in fresh, clean garments. But the monk's testament said, "Do not wash me, do not change my robes. I have never allowed the dust of this world to cling to me. My laughter has kept me pure." So they followed his wish. They placed his body, just as he was, onto the funeral pyre. People gathered around, silent, waiting for the fire to begin. But the moment the flames touched his clothing, something magical happened. Boom, crackle, pop. Colorful fireworks burst from his robes. Reds, greens, golds, and blues shooting in every direction, painting the sky with explosions of joy. The villagers gasped, some ducked, some screamed, and then everyone began to laugh. Children pointed and clapped, adults smiled with wonder. Elders wiped tears from their eyes. The laughter rose again, this time mixed with fireworks and memories of the old monk's joy. The man who had lived laughing left the world laughing and made the world laugh one last time. So remember, my friends, perhaps the purpose of life is not to carry its weight, but to lighten it with joy. When you face difficulties, when life feels heavy or confusing, look in the mirror and laugh. Not because problems are small, but because your heart is bigger. Your joy is your strength. Your laughter is your freedom. Never stop experiencing it.